Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As our regulars, you guys might have noticed that we went on a little production break, and the person I have on the show with me was part of my production break journey. And I now always say, show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are. So today I've got a very special guest who became a very good friend and confidant while I was away, and in a short space of time, a bond was created because we were in a space where we felt only we can understand what we had been going through and what we were dealing with. And today, I've got Mr. Pule. How are you, sir?
Ish, better.
We always all could be better, though,
the
right?
weather outside is not helping also.
No, it's not. Hey, it's
I was
not.
contemplating whether I should, say,
No.
okay, I can't do it because of the weather.
No, you couldn't
The
have done
roads.
that to me.
But I had you on at this moment. Mm-hmm. It was an invite, I didn't expect. Mm-hmm. But like you said, where we met,
Yeah,
I felt like, you know what, why not?
this conversation is very important.
It's
Before we
vital.
get to where we met,
Yes.
tell the audience a bit about yourself. Who are you? And
I feel like an interview right now. I'm in an interview. This question, like when you've been asked, tell us about yourself.
yeah,
It's a struggle.
it is a struggle.
Because it's a simple question, but to answer it, where do you start?
Where do you start?
But
Name and surname would be great.
let's start there, right?
Right.
Okay, so the name is Pule Sathege. Originally from Limpopo. I've been in Gauteng for the past 21 years. But I grew up in Limpopo, did my primary high school, came to Joburg in 2000, did my tertiary. What else? I'm a father of two, married for 17 years.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Wow, thank
Guys,
you.
black marriages is a thing. Black marriage is a thing, guys.
Yeah, as soon as you cross that 10-year mark, then you must know. There's no going back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I'm like, come on. What else would you look for out there?
Exactly.
But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm a business developer for one of the organizations. They didn't pay me for mentioning the company name.
Yeah, so no free advertising.
I'm not into that. That's me in a nutshell. I guess as we continue, you'll ask me more questions.
Of course.
Until when I settle in.
Okay. So how did you and I meet? I think that is, and the first impression, because I think the first impression everybody got of me where we met was very, very different.
I don't know, should I tell the truth or
tell the truth? I think the truth. The truth will work. This is a safe space.
The drinking part.
The drinking.
Okay, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. So, we actually met at a
mental health.
Mental health. I was trying to find another name for it because when you mention mental health, people think,
a loony bin.
Exactly. So I'm trying to find a better name for it, and I think maybe this is something that I need you to look into, changing the name, because as soon as you mention mental health hospital, first thing that comes to mind is people think that whoever's in there is crazy. And trust me when I tell you, when I was in there, I felt like crazy. But that was like the first 12 hours.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I felt that yes, I'm at a place where I needed to be. And this is where I met this wonderful lady, Dudu.
Oh,
yes.
you.
And initially when I first met you, and yes, like you mentioned earlier on that you were one person that, from a distance, we were all asking ourselves, is she part of us? Or is she the one who's coming to look after us? Is she the executive? Is she the director? Or what's going on here? Every time when we see your face, no, it's true story. And those who were there will agree with me when I say that, when we saw you, at one stage I was looking at myself, so I think this one means casual clothing, just to see how we behave. And she's the one who's making notes. And But until when we started attending classes.
Yeah.
And obviously going through the process, I remember when we had a one-on-one conversation, and I don't know where I got the guts to even have that one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, because I had this resting
You- you-
face happening the whole
do.
time. Yeah,
do.
the first couple of days
Yeah, you
I
do.
was in there, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all of us,
Yeah.
that place is one place that when you get into, one, you're not yourself. Two, you just, like, it's like you are like a moving cop type of thing. You had given up on life type of thing. I remember when I walked in there, I'll tell my story how I got into that place. And I was like, is this it? Like, this is the end of it. I don't even know if these people would be able to help me with what I'm going through, because I didn't see anything beyond the issues that I was facing at the time. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just see how it works out.
Yeah.
And here am I
Yeah,
to tell my story.
Yeah,
How's that?
and that is amazing. So your decision to actually end up at that facility, I hate the word facility as well.
Yeah.
At that place.
That place, yes.
The
Let's call
big
it that
C.
place. Yes.
The big
Small
C.
heaven.
Yeah,
Let's call it
our
small
small
heaven,
heaven.
yes.
Right? Because in there we ended up having our own little space called the office,
Exactly.
right? Where it's like, no, Kiko office.
Kiko office,
Yeah,
like, please,
and then
guys,
that was our chill place.
Sure,
And,
sure.
it ended up being, I don't know, where we formed like a camaraderie, like, a friendship of sort where it's like I'm with people who understand my situation and it's safe for me to make fun of it.
Exactly.
It's safe for me to be vulnerable, right?
Sure.
And speak about the reasons why I was here.
Exactly.
And sometimes when you hear the other people who were really at the end of their rope and wanted to end their lives, you were like, you know what?
Did you?
I am much better right now and I do have a life worth living.
And I couldn't agree with you more on those points that you've just covered. Trust me, when you sit amongst those guys, you listen to the stories. And that's one space that for the first time in one's life, you feel comfortable actually. Because you're sitting with people that won't judge you.
Exactly.
You can speak freely. For the first time where I felt like I'm getting in touch with my inner self. I'm able to talk freely without being worried that they will say, but this big Baba, how can you be complaining about things like this? And especially when you hear other people's stories, then you compare yours to yours and theirs to yours. Then you realize, okay, wow, what's what I get there?
Right? Right, yeah.
But, unfortunately, mental health is a serious issue. It doesn't matter what kind of a situation that you faced, or your history, your background, or whatsoever. And it doesn't choose, by the way. It doesn't matter who you are, like whether you are coming from a well-off family, whether you've done well in life, educational background, whether you know or you don't know. Mental health is a real issue.
It's real. So as Mutwan Tate, right? Because as you said, big black man.
Yeah, pressure.
As a big black man, how was the decision, or was it you who made the decision? Was the decision made for you that you need to go there? And prior to you being there, what had happened?
I guess I didn't tell you how it happened. So mine wasn't a matter of a decision.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened. It was a normal day.
Like any other
day. Any other day. I was coming from a customer meeting, driving around Waterfall Mall, got to traffic lights. The last time when I remember, the traffic light was red. And the next thing, there were knocks on my window. People knocking. When I open my eyes, it's these two white guys. And they were like, dude, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I think I'm fine. They're like, no, open the door, dude. Like, you've been here like for quite some time. So, but I couldn't figure out, I could hear what they were saying. And when I opened the door, it was like, I don't know, I was coming from like a switched off type of thing. Anyway, they were like, dude, we drove past you, traffic light went green, cars have been hooting, you've been there, and we don't know what's going on with you. I was like, guys, I think I'm a bit dizzy. I don't know what's going on with me. So one of the guys said to me, okay, you know what, how about you jump onto the passenger side? We'll drive your car to the side. Tell us the story, what's going on? And I was like, you know what, I don't know, I'm feeling a bit dizzy. I'm not feeling myself. I'm feeling unbalanced. And the one guy was like, you know what, let's rather take you to the hospital because at least for, to get medical attention type of thing. Got to that particular hospital. Firstly, there's two parts to the hospital. There's the one part where we
That's
met.
the hospital,
Yes,
and then
exactly.
yeah.
So I was taken to the hospital to go and they did medical tests to check to see this and that. If there was any physical damage, if there was maybe like I took something like, trying to commit suicide or something like that. But I was cleared from there. And when after they've done the test, blood test and all that, then the doctor named A then said to me, "Dude, you know what? We're picking up some signs and we're not sure, but we're going to refer you to another doctor, Dr. B." And Dr. B was lucky enough when I got there, it was in the evening. He was about to leave, by the way. Yeah. And he was like, you know what? They actually explained to him that, we have a case here. This guy, this is a story. This is what transpired. Just have a look at him. Like, speak to him, hear his story. We started talking. And not realizing that Dr. B could actually pick up that the state that I was in was a state that he was familiar with type of thing. He used then his experience to, understand exactly what was happening with me. And we started conversing, and along the way, I remember like dropping tears, And I said to him, I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm tired. I'm just tired. This thing called life is just too much for me. And he was like, what are you talking about, dude? I was like, I don't know. But right now, where I am right now, I don't know. I don't see myself beyond tomorrow. And he was like, are you going through something? Are you like, do you have problems, challenges, this, that, or that? I was like, you know what? Right now on my shoulders, I feel like there's this load that it's just too much for me, man. I can't handle it anymore. I guess for me to even go as far as like, telling him how I was feeling, it was how obviously the approach that he used, and like we spoke of he had said to me that he's actually a quite smart someone.
Yeah.
And indeed, he's a smart guy. Because from the get-go, you could pick up that, this guy is carrying a load. And if I let this guy go, only God knows what's going to happen next. He was like, you know what, I'm sorry, but like, we'll have to keep you for a night, if it's okay with you. I think it's okay. I don't mind. Maybe just being here will help me just to, forget things a bit. Slept. Following day, woke up. Dr. C came through. And when Dr. C came through, they ran some tests, did this, did that, did this, did that. And they came with a conclusive outcome to say that, dude, we're suspecting that you could be going through depression. And we suggest that, your stay here get prolonged a bit. So it's no longer just a night, but we're going to keep you for a good number of days, to help you go through the process. Because you are dealing with something, and we can help you, but you have to help us to help you, type of thing. And this is where the journey started, basically.
Yeah.
I know it was a mouthful, but I just wanted to give you like...
No, for me, my question is, you're going through life every day.
Sure.
All right, you're going through life every day, and people think from the outside, looking at you, you've got it all. Wife, 2 kids, house, car, the job, the finances. Everything
Always
is
smiling.
just picture perfect, eh?
Trust
You're
me,
living the dream.
Like, you know what? That's a life that I live every day. When people see me every day, I'll tell people that, guys, it's not easy. They were like,
Come on, you've got it all.
Come on,
You've got it
stop
all.
rubbing it in your face, man.
Yeah.
We can tell that, you've got things like under control.
You've got your ish together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whenever people have got issues, they'll come to me and they'll be like, guy, we have problems. We can help us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll do so. And there's never a time where I recall going to someone asking for help, and not because I didn't want to, but because people had so much confidence in me that I can actually help them with the issues. And I'm not the type of a guy that would say, I also have issues.
It's like, how? You know, when you've
This
got
big
it
guy.
all, like this big guy, life is perfect.
Exactly.
Men don't cry, men don't have
Exactly.
problems. Yeah.
And for me in particular, coming from the society that I'm coming from, it's an expectation. You're a black man. You know, men don't cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
And now tell me, because Dr. B and Dr. C have a tendency of digging, right? They dig.
Those
They
guys,
dig and they, because we were fortunate enough to be sharing the same doctors as well,
exactly.
right? And I'll be forever grateful to Dr.
yeah.
You know, B and C.
Yeah, no, same here.
They dug and they dug.
Those
Was
guys.
there a correlation to how you lived now and how your childhood was? Because we have a tendency of leaving our child in the past, like Sekele Moholo, you know, I'm this grown adult now and this is my life. Does your childhood in particular, and I know this is such a movie question, you know, like a TV therapy question. That's so how was your childhood? You know, but the correlation between how you live as an adult now and the way you grew up, were there any similarities? Were there any things you were trying to cover up from there? Were there anything that you were overcompensating for? Because we don't realize it, right? We don't realize it at all.
Good question that you're asking there. And that was actually uncovered by Dr. B. That my whole life, I've been covering up. I've been covering up this pain that started a long time ago. And the pain that I'm referring to from childhood, because that's where the problem started, from when I was young, how I was raised. And my childhood was not the greatest, you know. But it was, I'm saying now it was not the greatest, but then it was a norm.
Because it was all you knew, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was all you knew.
Exactly, you know. You were not exposed to any other thing except for that particular childhood. But as you grow up, you realize that, but hold on a second, that's not a way of, you know, raising a child. That's not a way a child should grow up. You know, to an extent that I made a vow with myself that, you know, the woman that I'm going to meet and have a child with, I'll have no choice but to marry that woman. No child of mine is going to grow without a father or a father figure in their life. You know, my two beautiful girls, I'm there for them 24/7. It can be a challenge, or it is challenging at times, but my presence, they always feel. And it's a vow that I made with myself that, you know, I'm going to be there until death do us part, you know, as the saying goes. But to your initial question, like, yes, the cover up led to subsequently what happened to me recently. Because what it did to me was, it was a build-up. Because your entire life, you're going through stuff and you're not sharing this stuff with anyone. You're keeping them to yourself. And the more it's a jar. You're filling up information in that jar. And unfortunately, this jar, there's a limit to it. And you keep on just forcing things inside that jar. And my jar got to a point whereby, like, you know what, until recently, it was like, no, we can't. Now we just have to explode. Just let go and let things be. You know, and by doing that, it's by talking about them. It's by going through the process that we went through. As much as like it felt like, no, it's a waste of time, you know. But trust me when I tell you that, you know, when I started the process, I realized that, you know what, wow, just a mere conversation.
Yeah, can do a lot, eh?
Conversation, telling a story. Because I mean, like, if you don't mind sharing with you again, Dudu, it wasn't just about how I was raised. Even growing up, went through like a whole lot of challenges, you know, financial challenges. I've gone through challenges whereby, like, you know, you feel that, you know what, you've got no one to turn to but yourself. parentless. You know, I grew up in a family of four, three sisters. I'm the only guy, the last born in the family. And then in our black community, if you're growing up in a family like that, you're the only guy and the last born. You must be spoiled.
Yes, everybody assumes that you're the spoilt one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with me, it was a different story. It was a different story. It has always been a challenge, proving myself 24 hours 7.
That you're worthy.
That I'm worthy.
Yeah.
And fortunately or unfortunately, I would say in the family, I'm the one who
made something of themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Made it far in life. And there's always that expectation. There's always that expectation that, this is required from you. This is required from you. There's ongoing conflicts that, I guess any family out there will have their conflicts, but, our conflicts also, those type of conflicts that, they can actually get you. You find yourself now not even knowing how to deal with a situation. You try to address one part of the situation and you classify it as a favorite type of thing. But when I choose you this and that.
But you're just trying to do the right thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're caught in the middle because this is family.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's that. And another one being this a tragic moment that I experienced, and I think that's the one that I never spoke about it before. I just took it as is, as classified as me being a man, as I was supposed to be. When I lost my nephew, how he died, it was in a painful manner. It was a painful manner, and this is a story I am gonna share, and I hope that my sister will understand also. He fell in a lake. Wow. Yeah, and it so happened that where they were, it's one of those mountainous areas. For one to get there, it was a mission for us to get there. But the part that I want to cover is the realization that when he was removed from there, and during that time there were a whole lot of people, and once the diver got him out and he was now confirmed or certified dead, obviously being there for about almost 12 hours. And the community around that place, they came to obviously to watch what was going on. When the whole thing ended and him being out now, everyone disappeared. Do you know where to carry him? For about 10 kilometers up a mountain, carrying a dead body. And I'm the uncle.
Yes.
I have no choice.
But to carry the body.
And it was late at night. We're not even seeing where we're going. You're carrying on your shoulder, blood is dripping down and I'm sorry for sensitive viewers, blood is dripping, and but I was like, I just have to man on.
Yeah.
And we it was just the three of us, but it was more like, dude, we're helping you, but he's your nephew.
Yeah, it's your nephew. You're supposed to carry this on your shoulders.
Exactly. Gone through the process. Eventually we got to the top part of the mountain and we handed him over to, what do you call this guy? The Mushar guys and whatever. One didn't even get a chance to process the whole thing. It was immediately after that, there were investigations. Exactly, all that. And then boom, right, all is done. Now we can sit back trying to think. While we were sitting trying to think, my mom fell sick. Within a short space of time, boom, my mom, she passes. I'm like, okay, again.
No time to deal with the emotional stuff.
No time to deal with emotional stuff.
You need to just soldier on and man on.
Exactly. No time for crying. No time for being a baby or whatever. You have to man up. And everyone is sitting there waiting for you to guide them, to lead them. Boom, we go through the funeral proceedings, bury my mom. Actually tomorrow It's my mom's, we'll call it what, anniversary.
Yes.
I'll be traveling to Limpopo tonight, actually,
Oh, wow.
just to go and celebrate that.
Yeah.
Our 5th year anniversary.
Uh-huh.
So normally we go just to
Get together.
get together and do the celebrations. It was obviously in April, May, June, July. My other nephew, boom, passes on. Just around the corner here, one of the hospitals here. Now, the time frames, we're talking intervals of 4 months in between.
In between, yeah.
And you're going through all that. And I think 2 months down the line, now this time it was a cousin of mine, very close cousin, first cousin, if I can use that term. Boom, also. In 2019 is 1 year that I will never forget. It was one of those like years whereby you just want to forget about it, But throughout all that, life was still expecting me to continue.
You were
into
still
life.
expected to life.
Exactly.
Every day, wake up every day.
Exactly.
Be the strong black man that you are, soldier on.
And
Kill lions and, wrestle sharks.
And smile.
Of course, you have to
Yeah.
do it with a smile on your
Exactly.
face. Yeah.
And that was that. Continued. Work was like also waiting for me. And work also, they're like expecting results from me. They'll give you a pat on the shoulder. Hey, man, sorry about everything
What
that you've gone
happened?
through.
But that thing
But
needs to be done.
Yeah, but now you sign a contract.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and the pressure also there was mounting. And expectations everywhere. And
You're still a husband and a dad. You are still a husband and a dad.
exactly. And you still be expected to be that.
To be that.
Get home, smile, do everything that a dad is expected to do.
And a husband is expected to do.
Exactly.
Provide, protect,
Bona.
everything.
Everything.
Bring in that bag. Yeah. Your emotions are
I know.
whatever you're going through
Yeah, no.
emotionally,
that's-
like
that's how I would say.
so let's just
What's it?
and be financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally available for
Be there.
everyone.
Exactly.
Everyone.
You can imagine. And being a black man, and I'm not just saying this in isolation, but unfortunately, with us black men, we classify this mental health as a white man's sickness.
Yes. Or as a weakness.
As a weakness.
Yeah.
As a sign of weakness.
Depression.
Somebody
Spoiled,
somebody recently said to me, "No, sorry, that."
Imagine.
Dude, seriously, are you seriously saying that to me now? It's that ignorance in the community. And I think it's one of the reasons why we're having this conversation. Not just to converse about it, but to educate also. To make people aware that this thing it's out there, it's a reality.
It's a reality.
It's killing us every day.
Pule, when I got there, right, for me, my first shock was how many men were there. How many men were there. And when I heard their stories, it was quite brutal to find out that those who had tried committing suicide, right, it was brutal the way they had done it, the way the attempts had been. And it was, you read about the statistics that men take the most violent route. That's why they have a higher success rate
Exactly.
than women. And people still then have the nerve to say, whatever, or
Yeah.
or
Like, spoiled.
feeling depression is a privilege, because you need to soldier on.
Yeah.
When you hear such things, how does, especially now, I know previously you were probably also of that mindset, because trust me, I was.
No, I was. I mean, look, I used to think about it. Like, look at this ones. Like, I have a friend of mine who went. I was like, this medical aid thing,
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't know what to do with it. No? And until you go in there, and the scariest thing about this is when people resort to just one solution and in their lives. I've attempted that, by the way, not once, not twice.
God has had bigger plans for you. God had bigger plans for you.
And I remember with my second attempt, I was like, how about this thing, how does it work?
Yeah.
Because I used everything, all the resources that needs to be used from what I had from other people, what I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Manje mina, what's going on here?
So you're failing at that as well. Doesn't it make you feel like a bigger failure? Because you failed at the one thing you were supposed to get right.
You after failing, you can't even share with anyone.
Anyone that you failed.
I guess I'm really dying when I spy, man.
I know this is not funny.
I know. You want to share with someone. You know, like,
yeah, and what's hair?
Yeah,
like, because nobody's going to take you seriously. Yeah, like, that's the thing, you know? Right? Even that question now, sharp, is like, I want to tell you, I get sharp. That's why I tried this thing.
This thing. But
yes.
now, man, I aspire. Maybe I'm got the ideas there. Next time, do boom, boom, boom. You know, but trust me when I tell you, when you get to that point, you don't think of anything. Like there's nothing. Like you go in a dark space. It's the scariest space ever. If hell is like that space, then hell is a place that I wouldn't want to go to. Because once you're in there, you like I said, you don't think of anything. The only thing that you think of is that one idea of just ending your life. How are people going to feel? Doesn't matter. How are my kids going to feel? Doesn't matter. They'll grow up.
They'll be okay without you.
The mother will be there. Oh, this will happen. This will happen.
The life cover,
they'll
be sorted.
No,
they'll be sorted without me. Yeah.
But not realizing, yes, the life covers will be there. But there's that one person who was once there.
Yes.
And is not there anymore.
It's not there anymore.
Gone forever.
And it wasn't an accident. It wasn't an illness. They decided we, as his kids, are not worth living for. Do you realize how that also, when you think about it in hindsight, when you think about it in hindsight,
it's heartbreaking.
Tell me, what's about, there's another correlation that people don't really ever consider or think about.
Sure.
Your relationship with money. Your relationship with money. Because people don't associate depression, right, and money or past traumas with how you handle money right now. So what was that like for you?
Yeah. See, like that question now touched a particular nerve.
Ski.
It's okay. It's okay. We're here to talk about this thing.
Yeah.
Whoever said, I hope I'm going to quote this person the same way they said this wording, that money is a root of
all evil.
All evils, yes, something of that nature. Unfortunately, with money, if you don't have money, you're nothing in this world that we're living in. You'll hear stories of people saying, like it doesn't matter whether you have money or you don't have money. You still be valuable. You still be important to us. You still be important to community. You still be part of the group. You still be able to go to Pick and Pay and get stuff for free and walk out. And you can go to a car dealer, get a car.
And just get a car without money, of course.
We'll worry about it later on, you know. You can find yourself a place to stay. And don't worry, money will later. There's no such.
Yes, no, sir.
There's no such. You know, and for us men, once your pocket goes dry.
Scary, your soul also is sucked dry, hey? It's like you just become worthless. And
Dignity.
yeah.
Your like, it's like when you walk out there, it's like people can see through you.
Got you're naked.
Yeah, what a broke. Like, if you look at you smell like you're broke.
No matter how expensive your cologne is.
The confidence is not there because you don't have money, you know. And unfortunately, that's a current life that we are living in.
Because a high valued man is considered a man with money.
Exactly.
Not a kind one.
No.
Not a generous one. Because I always say there's a difference between a generous man and a man with money.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So your generosity doesn't count, whether it's your time, you being there, whatever it is, that doesn't count. As long as it's not there.
You mean nothing.
You mean nothing.
Somebody once said to me, yeah, I understand that you love, but where's the money? The money talks also.
No, it's like you're paying a subscription to be in a relationship.
Exactly, and that's exactly what is happening in this.
Yeah, in this day and age. Yeah,
and
it's not fair.
No, it's not.
It's not fair.
You know, and this one, I'll speak on behalf of men in general. You know, I know I might be controversial with this one, but I'll just put it as is. You know, most men who are behind bars today, they did some of the crimes not because of they wanted to do those crimes. It's because of the pressure
to be able to provide.
You listen to some of their stories. Why did you do what you did? They will tell you, dude, my kids go nights without food, hungry. And me seeing them there like that, I had no choice but to go out there and look for something for them. I went out looking for a job I couldn't find. I went out asking from family couldn't come and assist. I went out seeking for help. No one came to assist. I resorted to one thing, which is what? Crime.
Crime, yeah.
But unfortunately, we're living in a country which is governed by
criminals. Sorry, excuse.
To be edited.
To be edited.
But you hear those stories, then you realize, indeed, if you're a man and you don't have money, you mean nothing. You mean nothing to the community. Your partner might still be there for you, but it becomes a question of how long.
Yeah.
For how long? And I've experienced that. Still experiencing it. I think with that one, like it's a bit of a touchy subject for now.
Well,
we're gonna
pocket.
I'm not gonna go into details with it, but the fact of the matter is, it is reality that as a man, you are expected to put your hand in a pocket, and when it comes out, it must come out with something, carry something. You know, it's like this joke. They will say that, but when you get home and you knock at the door, if it's a normal knock,
how about bully?
At
least got your elbow.
You must kick the door. Yeah. They know it is carrying bona, it's carrying plastic. Yeah, they quickly run, go and open the door. There is bona, you know.
Yeah.
But if it's a normal knock and you even see, like when you open the door, you are being welcomed. But there's that thing. Yeah.
At some point, we spoke about value, self-value, self-worth,
Sure.
and relation with money. Did you at some point feel as though there were certain relationships, not with your wife and kids, but external relationships, be with external family members or even friends, where you felt it was transactional? The more, like literally you were paying a subscription for this person.
Black tax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily black tax, but
okay.
yeah, we'll put it, we'll frame it in that
such.
context. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, with my family and extended family members, that's how it is. It's always a case of like, Bona, we need this, we need that. There's this, there's that. But you are working, you know.
And so it's a Gauteng.
Yeah, so it's a Gauteng. And you're working for that company. And you're getting paid.
And then
Yeah, o na le ntlo gape.
Bana ba hao ba kena sekolong tse turang.
Tse turang. So come on, I'm here. Come and pick me up from point A to point C to D. Okay, fine. I don't mind doing that, but are we going to help one another with the movement?
No, kwena sebetsang. Kwena na tjhelete. Kwena, like they don't even consider the price of fuel.
No.
Nothing.
I go to Limpopo. First thing when I see a relative, hey man, give me 50 bucks there.
Anzamenyana.
Clipper is nothing to you. Come on, man.
Come on.
It's not like, look at you. I mean, you look like money. You smell like money. And that's exactly that. It's painful that when your extended family members, when they see you, they don't see you as who you are, but they see that the value that you can bring into their lives, and it's more like it's selfish. I went through a financial crisis not so long ago, recently. I lost almost everything, investment, cars, this, that, and there was no one. There was a time where I wished at least one could just pick up my phone, even if like they were not going to help me, but just to pick up my phone and say, "How's it? What's going on? Are you okay?" There was no one. I'm talking about not so long ago, and I think it was that phase in my life was the last trigger to lead to me being in a mental health institution, because I was even asking God, you have done a whole lot of wrong things. None of us is perfect. But this type of punishment
feels a bit extra.
Yeah, no, it was like beyond.
Feels a bit extra.
Spices
like I didn't suffer when I was a child enough.
No.
So now as an adult, I need to suffer 10 times, really 10 times more.
No.
Yeah, you start questioning your faith. You start questioning your faith. You start questioning your value as a human being. You start wondering, why me? Why am I in this hole?
Exactly.
Because I've worked so hard, so hard with all the adversities, all the challenges.
Exactly.
Everybody telling me I won't amount to anything. And I wouldn't amount to anything. And look at me now. But still, with all of that, people telling you to your face that you're not going to amount to anything. It's like you're just being sucked back into being that nothing that they said you would be.
Exactly.
But in your spirit, you are more than.
You're more than that.
You're more than that. You're more than their words. But life is just not coming together.
That's not. I mean, I know, and I'm sure you know this also, we are going through a crunch time. The majority of us, and it would be unfair to say that why me alone? I know there's a whole lot of people out there also going through the same thing, but when you feel that it's one thing after the other,
and you're trying to patch these holes in this bucket.
It's other side.
There's another one. There's another one. Yeah.
And what do? Then obviously you end up being like, okay.
Just sit and you just break.
Yeah.
And mind you, you're sitting, you want to break, but you're not allowed to break.
No,
because who's going to hold everything else together?
Exactly. Somebody has to hold the fort.
Yeah.
And go in. I mean, like, I think I was having this conversation with you while we're still in there. It's so nice being here.
Yes, because everything is taken care of for you. The only decision, I think the only major decisions, there were two actually, we would have to make was one, what to eat for the next day.
Good.
Not even for today, for the next day. And it's guaranteed that it's going to be provided this meal.
Come on.
And two, whether or not you want to go to class.
Like you wake up thinking about it. Should I
go to class? And everything, it's like you're cocooned, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're cocooned and everything is taken care of for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Making your bed is even optional.
Man, come on.
Right? You can wear the same clothes for the whole entire week.
Who cares?
Nobody cares?
Walk around
As
there
long
like
as uhlapile,
all
your
that
teeth
matter.
are brushed,
Oh, nah.
and you know,
You get escorted to the shops.
exactly, you get escorted to the
I
shop.
felt like a VIP there.
Right? But the other beautiful thing that I found was the sense of community.
Oh, yeah.
Is when we went to the office at some point, we would all bring the little that we had together, right? Be it snacks, be it this, be it that. And nobody would feel excluded because it was that sense of community that we needed. For me, that's what I found. That sense of community that we needed. And we'd play music, be dancing, be talking, be silly, making fun of each other, making fun of ourselves, and just being free, knowing that I'm in a space where people understand, you know?
Beautiful space.
A space where people understand. And when we threaten each other about the other ward,
You know it, huh? Hey.
my,
Till today.
my therapist threatened to take me there.
Are you serious?
He did.
Are you
I
serious?
think about 3 times.
Are you
And it was
serious?
like, if you continue,
You're gonna go.
we're gonna end up there. What is your
that's-
family gonna say? Your family is definitely gonna. But it was said in jest, you know.
I was terrified. So too, Steve,
Yeah.
there. I was terrified. This is one I don't want to say white guy, man.
That
Excuse
guy. We
Let's-
all know that guy.
let's edit
yeah,
that
I think
part.
we all
Yeah.
know that guy.
And we became friends.
Yeah,
When he
yeah.
came back from that side.
That's right, yeah.
And every time when we go for a smoke break, we're like, dude,
What happens in there? We hear screams.
just don't make a mistake
Mm.
of going, that place is crazy.
Uh-huh.
Bro, I was in there.
But
Cold water. Like the list is endless. You do not want to go that side. I was like, you know what? Thank you for the advice. From now on, I'll take my meds, sleeping like the time when I'm expected to sleep, do all the right things, all the things that I'm expected to do. I'll do those things. I wouldn't want to trigger anything.
that will send you that side.
That place was scary.
Yeah, no, the place was scary. Even the people that came from there to
Our side.
join us, it was a bit scary. But
Normal people.
normal people.
Normal people.
But you know what, Pule, I am so grateful
Sure.
and so proud to have you on here because men don't have a space to talk about these things. At least with us, we've got our girlfriend groups. You know, we've got, be it in person or social media groups or other friends that we can open up to and say, hey, ndoda kunzima,
Kunzima.
you know? And we somehow sort of make plans to help each other out. But with you men, it's not a thing. You know, your mental health is not a thing. So you going forward now, how are you going to treat Pule differently? How
It's
are you going to
actually-
be nicer to Pule?
Firstly, I have to be grateful of my life. And I have to remind myself every day when I wake up. When the sun rises, just step outside and say, thank you, God, for giving me another day to see this day. Mine is to go through the day. You know, everything is just a matter of, I become the master of my own destination. You know, I determine what happened next. Just remember, like I said, you're the master of your own destination. You are in charge of the next step. Whether you want to go left or right, choice is yours at the end of the day. So me moving forward, and it's going to sound a bit, okay, but yeah, right, like it's going to be, I'm going to start being selfish.
Oh, yes.
And I've started doing that.
Yeah.
It's not sitting well with a whole lot of people because it's new. It's completely new. Some people, they're like shocked. Like, okay, what's wrong with this one now? You know, time offs. You know, I started introducing that back home. My partner is not sitting well with her because I will tell her that I just need to step out and just, I want to have my me time. And which is something that like one has never created in their lives. Yes, there's been other things that one has been doing which are out of order, but it was out of something.
Out of a sense of obligation to your friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pressure,
Yeah.
this, that, boom, boom. But this time around is just me choosing me before anything else. And by saying me choosing me, I'm not saying that I'm going to be ignorant and not care about other people. I'll still incorporate them into this space of us living together. But before anything else, priority, I'm priority number one. Take care of my well-being first, my health, my happiness. Because for the longest of time, I felt that I haven't been happy. You know, remember, like being happy is not about laughing.
Yes,
Being happy, you feel it from the gut,
Inside,
from inside. I haven't felt that in the longest of time, but I'm starting to practice that, and the more I just step out a bit, I get in touch with myself. I, introspect, reflect, and come up with ideas. I mean, to give you an idea, one of the ideas that came out from being at that space is I actually want to write a book.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to write a book. Just be on the lookout for it.
We'll have you on
Yeah,
again. We'll have you
please
on
do
again.
invite me
Yeah, we
too.
definitely
Please,
will.
man.
Yeah.
But this one would be more like a true life story, a story about Pule Sathege, the Black Jew. That's my
Yeah.
just to give details, and I'm hopeful that that book will help a whole lot of not just men alone, but people in general.
Young boys as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, young boys. Yeah.
Oh, talking about young boys, man, like my heart breaks because I'm not sure if we are doing enough as men to teach them, educate them, and just to show them that, guys, it's not easy out there. So I've mentioned the book. The second thing that I want to do also, with we briefly spoke about it, where I said to you that the teachings. Let's put out the teachings out there, and not just focusing on men only. Generalize the whole thing. Let's speak about mental health as our daily bread. Can we talk about it until people get tired of it? Until people realize that it's out there, it's a thing. It's killing us.
It's killing us, whether you like GBV.
Exactly.
I think a contributor is mental unwellness. A whole lot of, things where people like, I'm going to be strong. But sometimes you don't need to be strong. You need other people to be strong for you.
Thank you.
You can't always be strong because it then negatively impacts your family. I like what you've just said about taking time off and being selfish and taking time out for you. Because when you're empty, you can't pour into anything. You can't be that husband that your wife needs. You can't be the father that your daughters need. But if your cup is full, and I say this to men and women, if your cup is full, you can then pour out.
Exactly.
Freely so. To your family, freely so, without feeling like you're obligated to do so, but doing it because you want to.
Out of your heart.
And in doing so, you can get to go an extra mile for them as well.
Exactly.
Why? Because they have filled your cup as well. And you have taken the decision to consciously fill your cup as well. And it needs to happen. We need to build our societies.
We have to.
We need to build our families, and we need to start at the root core, of self. How self is feeling. Is self making this decision because of money? Is self making this decision because of pressures I'm getting from friends and family or whatever? Or is this decision what I am doing because I understand the consequences of this decision? And if it means cutting people out, then they weren't meant to be in my life, right?
God for us all.
Good for himself.
It is what it is, right?
That is
it is.
True.
It's a motto that I'm living by now. There's a grave out there, and it's waiting for me. I'm not gonna share that with anyone.
Yeah,
it's mine.
It's yours. So, yours alone, and you need to do best by you while you are living.
Exactly. And one of the sad parts Dudu, is when you're out there and you attempt certain things, and people come back and say, Mara, why is that about? Why is that? Why is that about problems?
Ne ke tlo qala kae? Ne le tla nkutlwa na?
You know, that mentality at times angers me. Because here we are talking about it. And people are not coming forth. People are not saying anything. Here we are, we've gone through what we've gone through. And we spoke out. No one came through. But trust me, if that attempt that I had made was a success, during the Moboom, but Pule should have said something.
How? Where do I start? Are you going to listen to me?
Good question.
Are you going to listen to me?
Very good
Or are you
question.
going to tell me what get there? Get
So,
spoiled.
I think to our people out there, let's start talking. Can we talk about real things? Can we talk about real matters that deals with real issues? Can we focus on us as human beings? Like, let's go back to looking out for one another, where we all started. You know, I remember, like, there was a saying, ngwana hodiso ke community. Can we still do that
Can
today?
we still do that?
Because if it was the case, we wouldn't be hearing the stories that we're hearing every day in the news. That boom did this to a 6-year-old, and whatever.
And Mangwanoliana has a hand in whatever the case is. And we need to sort out for crying out loud. Actually, just the country in its totality. You know, because some cultures are very good at hiding.
Oh, yeah.
At hiding what is truly happening. Yeah. Yes. And we need to stop that. We need to stop that. Pule, we are running out of time. I was enjoying this conversation. And we only just touched the surface, hey? We only just touched the surface. We didn't do anything.
It was just an introduction, basically.
Basically, hey?
There's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot more.
But if people want to know more about that, the book is coming.
It's coming. I am so glad. And Pule, where can people find you on your socials?
So I'm on TikTok. I'm trying to build my TikTok account. It's slowly but surely growing. Black Jew.
Yeah.
It's a brand that I'm using.
Okay.
And just to give you a little bit about the brand itself, where it comes from. So Sathekge, we are classified as the Black Jews, the members. The history is a story for another day. But from Ghana all the way coming down to South Africa, Zimbabwe, and all that. But we form part of the historical generation called the Black Jew. And I was like, that's me.
So you're embracing that?
I'm embracing that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So when you go onto your social platforms, search for Black Jew. I'm the only one so far. On TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And let's talk, guys. Okay. Let's talk. People should expect a lot.
Yeah.
There will be a lot coming out that I'll be introducing to people out there. And it'll be an open platform, by the way, not limited to anything.
Yeah.
You know, not focusing to just the issue of mental health. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I think with our government, is doing so much to help. But we also do know what else they are doing, but we're not going to cover that.
Yeah.
It's a story for another day. But us as people, we can help one another.
Yeah.
These are platforms that we can use. Let's leverage on these platforms and make sure that we send out the message which is relevant to the community, especially the young ones, the guys who are still growing up. We can do it. You can do it. I can do it. We can all do it.
We have started.
But that's me, Dudu. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. And I am looking forward to seeing you next time for more wonderful content with a lot more of my friends. And again, I love you and thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.